Welcome. In front of me is an iPad Pro 4th generation, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks you can do on this tablet. Now, there's plenty more. A bunch of them would be also associated with the S Pen, or however it's called. No, not the S Pen, the Apple Pen, which I'm not gonna really include in this video, but if you have it, you can do more than I'll be showing you, so keep that in mind. Now, anyway, jumping to what I have right here, I'm gonna go over a couple hidden things that I can find here. So number one, if we open up any kind of application, you can access a dock from here, and you can obviously switch between these applications. You can also still swipe from side to side if that is something you do, to swipe between the applications that are already open. So in this case it will be two, weather and settings. There we go. Now moving on to the next one, control center. By default it is pretty limited with only like a couple different things. We can extend this by adding different toggles by navigating into the settings. Let me first just do one more thing. There we go. So we can navigate into settings and then control center, and here you'll find all the toggles that are turned off by default, which you can just tap on a plus button to add them. So I'm gonna add two of them, and now you can see you have two more I have added. Obviously, if you also install some kind of applications that add their own toggles, they might show up right here, and you can just simply add them on your control center right over here. And sticking with the control center, just the toggles itself and what you see right here is not everything that you actually have access to. So number one, for instance, brightness. You can hold it and it gives you a couple additional options, which one of them is also one that I wanted to show you, which is the dark mode. So you can toggle on dark mode from here on the go, simply tapping on it, and voila, everything is now in dark mode. Now, because I'm using the standard wallpaper, it also changes how the wallpaper looks like. They do have this interactions where it changes between light and dark depending on the wallpaper. It also changes the backgrounds of it. Let's actually see how it changes. So there we go. It does look a little different, obviously, but it's kind of hard to spot a difference. It looks like it gets almost inverted. But anyway, so that's one. Obviously, under brightness, that's not all we have. We also have the night shift and true tone. And then under volume, we have nothing. In the toggles right here, if you hold it, we also have access to AirDrop, personal hotspot, Wi-Fi's, and so on. And under focus, we have do not disturb mode, personal or work. And playing just gives you a bigger overview of the media that would be playing. Now, anyway, moving on. I'm going to show you one more thing on the home screen, which is the ability to move multiple icons at the same time. Because by default, when you hold it, come on, there we go. So once they start, everything starts jiggling. You can then move applications from one screen to another, or maybe put them in the folders, whatever, like the ones right here. But what you can do is grab it, for instance. So I'm holding one right now. Just tap on all of them. For instance, right here, you can see that I'm right now apparently holding 10 different applications. And then I can just drag them over, boom, drop them, and voila, I just moved all the applications from the main screen to some other page with very little hassle. So that's one thing. And another thing that I wanted to show you is with the dock, also an icon kind of thing. So by default, you will see there is this little bar right here. So what happens here is if you open up some kind of apps, they will be displayed right here. But if you want to limit the amount of, let's call it dynamic apps that are visible, you could just add more apps to the dock right here on this side, which is the non-dynamic, let's call it that way. So all the apps right here don't change. These are apps that you can just put in yourself and they will stay here, and you can obviously quickly access them wherever you are, giving you also quick access to some of the apps that you might want to open up when you're in different applications right here. So we could add more to this side, and this will then shorten the amount of dynamic apps that are visible right here, if that is something that you want to get rid of. Maybe you don't really utilize this kind of feature all too much, which is understandable. Then you can just kind of fill it up and get rid of it. Now, moving on and sticking also with the dock, it's going to be the split screen option or pop-up window. I'm not exactly sure how to call it. So I'm going to open up settings again, just as an example. Pull up the dock. There we go. And for instance, I'm just going to grab photos. So I'm going to hold it, drag it over. As you can see, it shows up like this. I can drop it, and now I have my application visible right here. Nothing in here, unfortunately, so nothing to show, but you can see that I can just use it without a problem. And then I can just tap right here. It hides into the sidebar, and I can continue to do whatever I want, and then swipe out like this to get back into the other application. Pretty neat option to have if you, for instance, want to message with someone. So you write a message, go back to whatever you were doing, you get a reply, boom, swipe up, and you're back in the messaging app. So there we go. And if you want to close it, just tap on the three dots right here and select close. You can also full screen it if you want to. Well, there we go. Now, with that being said, this would conclude the tweaks that I wanted to show you. Hopefully some of them were interesting to you. I'm not really an Apple user, so I wasn't maybe able to find like the super good ones that are somewhere deep in the system, so forgive me, but hopefully you found some of them in some way useful. So anyway, if you found this video helpful, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.